just hit 400K followers on Instagram, and I've grown over 44,000 followers over the past 30 days. And today, I'm gonna share all the sauce I've learned on going viral on Instagram, and most importantly, making 100K a month profit with all the traffic I'm getting without spending a single dime on ads. So let's get it. So the first and most important step to going viral on Instagram is the topic. Because think about it, I can make the best video in the world, but if it's a topic about fixing pipes, well, it's gonna have a really hard chance of going viral. So before anything about the video, we need to pick the right topic first. So I went to a mastermind last year, November 2022. And at this stage, I wasn't really going viral. I had like 3,000 followers on TikTok at the time, and none of my traffic was organically. It was all through ads and shoutouts. And so in this mastermind, one of the guest speakers was Ryan McGinn. If you guys don't know him, his content agency used to work with Alex Hormozi, and they together came up with the Alex Hormozi captions that you see pretty much every Make Money guru do nowadays on Instagram and TikTok. But in that mastermind, Ryan McGinn actually said it doesn't really matter about like the editing and the captions and all of that. What's most important is following what we call the BEAR framework. And the BEAR framework stands for believable, exciting, authoritative, and relatable. Okay, so let's go over believable. Every claim you make in your videos, you must show proof. If you don't show proof about any claim you make, people are automatically gonna believe that you're capping, that you're lying, and people are gonna swipe away from the video right away. Any claim that you make, either show a screenshot or make some B-roll. B-roll is a scene where your voice still plays, but there's a different scene going on in the video, kind of like this for an example. And so in the B-roll shot, you want to use your phone and pull up whatever proof you have on your laptop and film it. Or if you're talking about a story, make sure to take videos of that story real time so you have proof. Or if you're talking about a story in the past, make sure to dig through your photos, dig through your camera roll, and try to find as much proof as possible that whatever story you said happened, right? Because again, in a world full of deceit and a world full of lies, nobody trusts anything unless you show this proof. So that's the B in the BEAR framework. The next letter is E for exciting. Again, we could have the best video in the world, but if it does something as boring as watching paint dry or watching trash being thrown away in a disposable, if you were to ask a drunk person at a bar or a drunk person at the club that idea, would they be interested or would they be like, that's boring, I'm gonna keep getting lit? You always just wanna have the frame, is this exciting enough for other people? The next letter is A for authoritative. This is more for going viral for the sake of making money, meaning that you're actually trying to generate leads for your business, you're actually trying to generate new customers or clients with your social media. So authoritative means that you're providing value, that you're actually helping the person watching the video accomplish a goal or solve a problem. Because if you don't, then you're either gonna be stuck making entertainment content, and side note, almost every one of my entertainment influencer friends who go viral with funny meme content are broke. They don't make any money. Okay, so we don't want that. And number two is if you're not authoritative, people aren't gonna listen to you and they're not gonna trust you to pay you hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars online. So we have to be seen as an expert by, again, providing value, either solving a problem or helping our viewers reach a goal that they're looking for. And then the next letter in the BEAR framework is R for relatable. So the problem that most people have on Instagram and TikTok is that their videos are actually too niche, meaning that it doesn't relate to a lot of people. Yes, your video might get a couple hundred views or a couple thousand views, but to get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of views, you gotta be a bit more broad so more people on Instagram could actually resonate with the topic. And so I know a lot of people say like, oh, how am I gonna get business if I'm not niche? How am I gonna make sales if I'm not speaking to my target avatar? So here's what I've done to go around that. Make your hooks and the general topic of the video broad, and at the very end, you could be a little bit more niche with your call to action to get people to learn more about what your service is, or to get people to learn more about what your business model is, whatever industry that you're in. So I'm gonna go over more in depth about call to actions at the end of this video. So keep watching this video all the way through so I can explain more about what I'm talking about. So we got over topic. The next step is personality. So don't you find it interesting on social media? There's people that try really hard with all these edits, these animations, these captions, all these retention tactics. And then there's people who literally whip out their iPhone, don't try at all, one take wonder, and get the same amount of views or even more. Like, why do you think that is? Because it's actually, again, not about the edits or the animations or the graphics or anything that you think of when you think of like Alex Hormozi content. Instead, it's about the personality of who is saying the message behind the video. Guarantee you, if you switch me with some random boring person with a monotone voice who doesn't use his hands, doesn't use his face, has no energy whatsoever, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. So there's two actual pieces of advice when optimizing your personality on camera. So number one is you have to act like you're on FaceTime. So what I mean is like you want to frame your video as if you're on FaceTime. So example, don't hold it up here. You want to do this on FaceTime, you kind of hold it like comfortably, like right here, right? If you're placing your phone somewhere, don't place your phone super far out or don't place your phone too far up close. Prop your phone up somewhere that that would actually mimic FaceTime. And it's not just about the framing, how you talk on FaceTime as well. A lot of people who talk on video, their eyes are glued in the camera and it looks like they're sucking into your soul. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Kind of crazy, right? Again, you just want to talk like you're having a conversation with a close friend on FaceTime. So sometimes you're going to be looking at the camera, just like thinking. Sometimes you're going to look away a little bit, being distracted. Of course, you don't want to look away too much because then that'll make you look unconfident about your video, but don't have your eyes glued on the screen at all times because that's going to be creepy. And again, it doesn't seem authentic talking to someone on FaceTime. And then one last killer I see about a lot of people on video is they act like they're on present mode. They're like, here's exactly how you're going to make 10K months, or here's the best way to make blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro, you don't talk like that in real life. There are going to be real human beings watching this video, okay? Just one human being. If you think about it, everybody watching this video is only one person watching one screen. So you have to talk like you're talking to one person. Don't act like you're on stage. Don't act like you're presenting to thousands of people because that's not what this is. I'm literally just talking to one person, which is you right behind the screen. And so tangibly what I mean is just don't be so excited. Don't be so exaggerative. Like literally just talk the way you would to a friend on FaceTime. I sound like a broken record at this point, but like that's literally the point I'm trying to get across. And so that's part one of FaceTime. Okay, now part two is I actually heard this on social media from some random video and it really resonated. It's think of like talking to the camera or talking on video as the same way as trying to rizz up a girl or rizz up a guy if you're a girl or whatever you're into. Think about like every time you're on video, you should be acting like you're going on a first date with someone you've never met before you're trying to impress, right? So you want to be talking like, here's exactly how you're going to be rich. Like, no, you don't talk like that on a date. Like you try to talk smooth. You try to talk, you know, pretty genuine, pretty authentic. Like you want them to like you for the real you. That's the same way you want to be in your videos. All right. So act like you're trying to rizz up the person at the other end of the screen. And what does rizz mean, by the way? It just means like trying to get someone else attracted to you or trying to impress someone else. So we gone over topic, we gone over personality. The next most important step is the hook. And everyone says like you have to focus on the hook, but how exactly do you make the hook good? And so I call it opening the loop of curiosity. So you don't want to give the answer to the video right away. So example, in this video, if I said the best way to go viral on Instagram is posting every day, nobody would watch the video anymore because they know the answer. And by the way, that's not necessarily true, but you always want to open loops, right? So there's a difference between saying, here's exactly how you're going to go viral versus you're going to go viral by your hooks, right? They're like, it's just one opens the loop, one closes the loop completely. And then as for like actually scripting your hooks, I recommend being direct and punchy. Don't say like, here's how you might go viral. Like, here's how you could potentially be viral. No, it's like, here's exactly how you're going to go viral, or here's the only way to go viral, or here's how to actually go viral. Like if you guys see, like I'm saying like short, direct, punchy adjectives, like the only, the real way, how to actually, here's exactly, like again, you got to be 100% confident in the hook that you're saying, and that's going to open the loop of curiosity for people to want to watch. And so also in the hook, you want to have the prospect's dream outcome, or you want to solve their deeper pain. So example, here's exactly how I go viral every single time is one way. Another way is here's exactly how I get out of being shadow banned, right? One's moving toward pleasure, one's moving away from pain. So that's the basic gist about hooks. Other ways to really improve on your hooks is just watch what other people are doing and see what kind of hooks they use. And then after a while, you kind of slowly start to develop the muscle of what opens a loop of curiosity and what closes it. And so I know forming hooks is a very complicated topic and you probably have a bunch of questions, which is why I host a free class every Thursday, breaking down the new model of social media marketing, where you can actually grow a personal brand on Instagram to make money online. If you're interested, just sign up with the link in the description. And at the very end of the live class, I host a Q&A session. So any question you have, I'll be able to answer at the end of the class. So make sure to stick around to the very end so I could drop all the tailored, customized sauce for you. So we gone over personality, topics, and hooks. The next step is the script, meaning the words you actually say in your videos. And by the way, if you're not talking in your videos, start doing so immediately. Why? Because all these girly TikToks where you like point here, and then you point here, and then you point there, it's not going to gain you customers, it's not going to gain you clients. And also, it's a lot harder to go viral because there's only one person in this world with your voice and your personality, and that's you. So if you're just doing all these pointings like that, you don't stand out. And because you don't stand out, you're not going to be able to build a deep, resonating relationship with your audience because you just look like everybody else. So you have to be speaking on camera. But anyways, going back to the script, there's really two ways to do this. One is you can actually pre-plan your scripts before the video, and then there's ways to be able to recite the script, or you could just kind of go off the rip and talk on the fly, kind of like what I do right now. All right, so for beginners, I recommend scripting your videos first, just to kind of get you in the habit of making a good structured video. Oftentimes when people try to talk off the fly too early in their social media career, they kind of just drag on, talk too much or talk too little, and the video kind of just sucks. So when you're a beginner, script out your videos first and pre-plan them. And so what I recommend in terms of different frameworks to use when scripting your videos is 4 different methods, okay? So the first method, we call it the story framework. So you just give a hook, you tell a story, and then have a call to action at the end. And a call to action, by the way, is getting the viewer to either like, comment, DM you, save, or some type of action the viewer must take after they watch the end of the video. If you see my Instagram, you guys see I tell people to comment below almost at every video. So we've gone over the story framework. The next framework is the steps framework. So again, it's the hook, and then instead of a story, you want to use steps. And steps is just a ordered breakdown on all the necessary things someone needs to do to either reach a goal or solve a problem. So example, this video, I'm giving you all the steps in order from most importance to least importance on how to actually go viral. If you watch one of my previous videos, I walk you through the 6 steps on how to build a social media marketing agency, where you need the previous step before you can move on to the next step. And then once you walk them through all the steps again, have a call to action at the very end of the video. So we've gone over the story framework, we've gone over the step framework. The next framework is the list framework, where it's very, very similar to the step framework, where you have the hook, and then instead of steps, you could just give a list, which is pieces of advice that doesn't matter what the order is. So example, in my last video, I walked you through the 4 secrets to attract high quality clients. But the thing is, with that video, it doesn't matter which secret you apply first, because they all work equally as well. And it doesn't matter if you try one before the other. So that's the list. It's very similar to the steps, but this time the order doesn't matter in the pieces of advice that you provide. So you just go over the hook, you go over the list, and then you do a call to action at the end. So we've gone over stories, steps, lists. The next framework is what we call the direct answer, where you give a hook, you state the answer, you handle the objection, explain the answer, and then give a call to action at the end. This sounds like the most complicated, but the best way I can describe this is example, here's a quick little video. Here's exactly how to go viral on Instagram. Talk like a normal fucking person. And no, I don't mean trying to be someone you're not, but what I mean is instead of trying to be like Alex Hormozy and like everybody else trying to present videos where they're super excited and exaggerated, talk like a real human being and act like you're just talking to someone on FaceTime. And I promise you, you're gonna get better results. If you need more help with this, by the way, my DMs are open. Boom. So do you see what I did there, where I gave a hook, I answered that hook right away, handled an objection, explained the answer, and give a quick call to action on what to do at the end of the video. Boom. Okay, so those are all the ways to pre-plan your videos. Now your boy is a bit more advanced, and the reason why, again, grown an extra 44,000 followers the past 30 days is that I actually decided I'm done scripting all my videos. I'm just gonna film whatever my heart speaks, whatever like my creative passion wants, and then I just say whatever is on my mind. And so this means you can't really plan your hooks. This means you can't really plan the script. You could probably plan the call to action as long as it makes sense, but for the most part, you're literally just speaking from the heart. And so one of my social media mentors put it this way, like with pre-planned scripted videos, it's always going to perform consistently mid. So it's not going to go like crazy viral, and it's not going to perform terribly. It's kind of just going to perform at the middle at all times. But with unscripted videos where you just talk out the fly and speak from your heart, you're going to have crazy lows because sometimes the video could drag on too long. Sometimes the video doesn't make sense, or sometimes the video just doesn't have enough. But when you do figure out how to not speak in a scripted way, and you truly learn how to speak on the fly from your heart, now your videos have crazy viral potential, because people can sense if someone is genuine with their videos. They could sense the passion behind it. They could sense the energy behind it. And so not scripting your videos allows you to unleash that potential, unleash that energy, unleash that passion within you, and transfer it to the other end of the camera. Sounds hippy dippy, I know, but that's like the best way I could describe it. So literally you just speak from the heart. Whatever's on your mind, you just have to film it. Okay, and so this leads me into my next step, which is how do you actually come up with ideas? So I have a formula for you. Energy plus freedom equals ideas. What exactly does that mean? So let me explain. One is, like when you're really tired and you're exhausted, you really don't want to do anything. Like your brain can't function and you're just like sleepy, your eyes kind of get heavy, and you're just lazy the whole day. You feel lethargic. And so that is the exact opposite state we want to be in, because you really can't come up with good ideas if you're tired. I've tried it for the longest time, like you just can't. So that means you actually have to get your energy on point. So how do we do that? So one is make sure you work out every day. Ideally first thing in the morning so your energy is on point. Two is make sure you're eating right. You can still eat junk food if you want, but save the junk food toward after you film all your videos for the day. So for me, I intermittent fast, which means I don't eat breakfast, and then I just eat chicken and salad for lunch. No carbs for lunch, because carbs kind of make you tired and make you sleepy throughout the day. And then for dinner, that's when I have more meat, more vegetables, and that's when I eat all my carbs, because I'm okay with being sleepy after dinner because I'm already done filming all my videos by dinner. But whatever system works for you, the basic gist is try to eat healthy, meaning try to eat whole foods and stay away from anything that's unnatural until past dinner time. And so now that you're working out, you're eating right, the next thing for energy is sleep. Okay, so this really all depends on your schedule. So example for me, I don't really have any morning meetings and I kind of have so much time freedom. I could basically do whatever I want, whenever I want, whoever I want. And so for me, I learned this from Alex Hormozi. I do what we call a reverse alarm clock. So my girlfriend wakes up at 5 a.m. So she goes to bed around like 8:30, 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m. max. And so I just go to bed at the same time as if I'm trying to wake up at 5 a.m. So I sleep at 8:30, 9, max 10 p.m. And then instead of waking up at 5 a.m., like my girl, she's a grounder, shout out to her, I just sleep in. And so now because I slept so early, I'm not gonna wake up at like 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. if I sleep in. Because I slept so early, I naturally wake up around like 8 a.m., max 9 a.m. And so I still have the full day ahead of me, even though I technically slept in. And so now I have all the energy in the world because now my sleep is right, my diet is right, and I'm working out. So now that we have your energy on point, the next part to this formula is freedom. And so what do I mean by that? Again, this all depends on your schedule. But for me, after I work out and I take a cold shower, I literally just do whatever the hell I feel like. If I feel like going to the pool, I'm gonna hit the pool. If I feel like hitting the sauna, I'll hit the sauna. If I feel like hitting the hot tub, I'll hit the hot tub. But whatever I feel like doing, I'm just gonna listen to my creative intuition and just roll with it. And I'm gonna get to why this is important in a bit. But any idea, any thought you have, take action on it, right? Even if it's dumb, right? So today I felt like getting a haircut. So I called my barber Jay and got a house call and he came into my apartment and cut my hair for me. All because I just randomly felt like it for today. Whatever your mind is telling you to do, you have to follow it. Again, make sure it fits your schedule. If you're working 9 to 5, you obviously have to go to your job. Like if you have prior commitments, you obviously have to do that. If you can't afford to do something, don't do it. But as long as it's within reason, do whatever your heart tells you to. And so once you have your energy and you have your freedom to do basically whatever your heart tells you, that's when ideas just come. So now for me, I just do whatever I feel like for the day, and then ideas just pop in left and right. And then anytime I have an idea, I don't sit on it, I don't wait on it, I don't think like, is this a good idea or not? I just take action on it right away. I pull out my iPhone and I just film right away. I don't try to plan the tonality, I don't try to plan the words. I just hit record and then speak from the heart, speak whatever my mind feels like, right? And again, you want to act like you're on FaceTime, act like you're talking to a genuine friend, but like literally just speak whatever your heart tells you to. And usually good things come out of it and you have a genuine, passionate video that actually gets views and potentially go viral. And so the key is you want to film right away because the longer you wait on an idea, the longer you let an idea sit, the less passionate you become about the idea and the less energy and authenticity you have about the idea as well. So it's like a slow ticking time bomb. Anytime you have an idea, go get your iPhone and film right away. You don't need a professional camera. You don't need mics. Just literally take your iPhone out and film. I used to use a professional camera. I used to use microphones. And honestly, some of my best videos on Instagram so far this past month has literally just came from my iPhone. I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but as long as you have like an iPhone 10 or 11 or above, like you're good. Just use your phone, no microphone, no professional camera. Rip it like you're on FaceTime and just speak your heart out. And that's how you're gonna get the most genuine video ideas that have the most likelihood to go viral. So we got over topic, personality, hooks, scripting, and ideas. The next step after that is lighting. So on Instagram, there's really 3 levels. One, you could just use sunlight. So ideally, you want to either film during sunrise or more realistically, sunset. We call this golden hour, where you literally just face your window and use direct sunlight to light up your face. Don't turn away from the sunlight because then you're going to be dark as hell. Instead, like I said, face the window, have the sunlight shine on your face, film during sunrise or sunset for golden hour, and boom, your lighting is a-okay for free. Stage 2 is getting a ring light, and this costs like $30 max on Amazon. And that way you can film at night or during any part of the day. Now, stage 3, if you want to be even more advanced, is have background lights on top of your ring light. So example, behind me, I have this tube light that's like $300 by itself. We have this LED sign, which is like $700 by itself. And we have this other RGB light right there. And that was, I believe, like $150, maybe $200. And so these lights behind me are super expensive. You don't need to cop these type of lights, but you could always just get floodlights or those LED strips that every TikToker has and put them in your background and boom, now you have background lighting. And the background lighting, it kind of just helps separate you from the background. And then optional stage 4 for lighting, if you want to be extremely advanced, is cop softboxes. So I actually have a softbox to my top right. This is how I get the light on this side without the light here. And then I have a softbox directly to my left, which kind of is how like this light right here is coming to my face. Extremely advanced, you don't need this either. Like each softbox by itself costs like $200. So this whole lighting setup, $200 plus $200, $400, $300, plus that $300 tube, which is $700, plus that $700 LED sign, which is now $1,400, plus this light right here, which is like $150 to $200. So that's like $1,500, $1,600 for this lighting setup alone. Okay, you don't need this. So my general recommendation is if you're a complete beginner, just use sunlight. If you're already posting Instagram Reels and you want to be even better, then get a ring light. And if you want to be even better than that, get background lights. And if you want to be even better than that, cop the full $1,600 setup I have with 2 softboxes, a tube, an LED sign, and that RGB light right there. So we got over the topic, personality, hook, scripting, ideas, and lighting. The next step after that is editing. So everybody thinks you have to copy like the Alex Hormozi graphics and animations with all these pop-ups, all these sound effects, all these transitions. But to be real, unless you're Alex Hormozi, or unless you have a damn good camera presence where it doesn't matter about your edits, you're gonna go viral no matter what, it actually hurts your video more than it helps. Why? Because one, everybody is doing the Alex Hormozi edits, so you're not gonna stand out from the competition. And again, unless you're established like Alex Hormozi, you're not gonna get views because you're literally just a small fish surrounded in a big pond of everybody else doing it. We call it a red ocean, right? Instead, we wanna create kind of like our own blue ocean. And so what a lot of people aren't doing is they aren't relying on their personality to get views. So we wanna edit our videos in a way that's a little bit more genuine and authentic, letting our personality shine instead of relying on all these retention tactics with all these graphics, animations, and pop-ups. So all we wanna do is just these 3 things, and that's it, nothing more. Is number 1, cut out all dead space, meaning cut out all your breaths, cut out all your pauses, cut out all your mistakes, cut out all your ums. Like literally any millisecond that's not you talking directly to the camera with the real value of the video, cut it out right away. Like we had the motto, every millisecond counts. Like even if you have like a tiny millisecond of a pause or a breath or an that's gonna hurt your chances of going viral, and that's gonna cap the amount of views you can get. The attention spans of people nowadays is so short that even the tiniest millisecond counts. So every moment, every frame in your video matters. So be as precise as possible when editing. So that's 1, is cutting out all dead space. Number 2 is adding B-roll. Again, B-roll means that your voice is still talking to the camera, but the scene of the video is something completely different. Again, I'm doing a B-roll right now as an example. And what does this do? Again, this just makes your video a bit more engaging while still having that cinematic feel and not being like that scammy, gimmicky pop-up vibe. So again, instead of doing pop-ups and graphics and animations, just do B-roll instead for every sentence that you say. So example, if I'm talking about a sales call, I'm gonna show B-roll of me taking a sales call. If I show myself landing a client, I'm gonna show myself shaking hands with one of my clients. If I'm talking about a previous story about me when I was younger, I'm gonna show a B-roll clip of when I was younger. Just like whatever you're talking about, show a B-roll clip so that the viewer can visualize and picture what the heck you're actually talking about. So we gone over dead space and B-roll. The next step to editing is captions. So again, don't do the Alex Hormozi pop-ups with all these captions just popping up in your face. Just have simple, clean, easy to read captions. And so for my caption choice, I want to mimic and be similar to the TikTok or Instagram native font. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's some quick text with the font. But Instagram viewers are trained to be familiar with this font right here. So instead of using all these different fonts and pop-ups, like having something very, very similar to the Instagram native font allows the viewer to see that the video is more genuine and more authentic than, again, all these pop-ups. So how do you actually do this? Just download the CapCut app and then import your video to CapCut. And then in CapCut, use the auto captions feature. And then once the auto captions are generated, they kind of look like crap. Okay, so what you want to do is get rid of all the formatting and styles. I believe as of right now, it comes with a black border. Take that black border out and then choose the font Classic, not System, but actually Classic. And then once you choose Classic in the effect, and then you want the font to be all white, and then have a black shadow in the background with 100% blur, and then about 30 to 40% opacity, or opacity, I don't know how to pronounce it, on CapCut. And then after that, CapCut usually has the captions in like 1 to 2 lines with a bunch of different words. You want to separate each word by 2 to 3 words max. And what you want to look for is basically all the captions should be 1 line. There should never be 2 to 3 lines of captions because those are hard to read. We want the captions to be as easy to read as possible. So again, make sure it's 2 to 3 words max in 1 line of captions, and make sure there's not 2 to 3 lines of captions because that is super hard to read. A couple more things about captions: try to have the captions in the middle of the video, in the direct center, not in the bottom, not at the top, in the direct center, because most viewers on Instagram, when they're swiping, they're usually gravitated toward the middle of the screen. So if you have your captions in the middle of the screen, then that's the first thing they're going to look at. And because the captions are fast paced and they're always changing because it's only 1 line, 2 to 3 words max, they're more likely to be engaged with the video and keep watching. And another way to make the captions even easier to read, notice how like there's so many little details to making things easier to read, easier to see, easier to look at. Because again, every detail in terms of editing matters in your video. Because even the slightest change could be the difference between 100,000 views and 1 million views. 1 million views to 10 million views. Like, it's all about the tiny little differences. All right, so something to make the captions even easier to read is actually to lower the brightness of your actual video. So in CapCut, usually I lower my brightness all the way to the max, or if that's too dark, maybe just a little bit brighter than the max darkness you could get. And so when you lower the brightness of your video, now your captions become brighter and they're actually easier to read, which again allows people to actually stay tuned to the video instead of swiping away because they can't read the captions. And then another tiny editing detail that will make your video even better, try to raise the volume to about 250. So it's automatically set at 100. I believe it's just 100%. Raise it to 250%. Because on Instagram and pretty much every social media platform, they lower the volume just a bit for whatever reason. So you want to raise your volume just enough so that people could actually hear you even if their volume is extremely low. So the reason why we don't want to do anything past 250 is that might be a little too loud for headphone users. So 250 is kind of like the sweet spot where it's not too loud to the point where you're annoying headphone users, and it's not too soft to the point where people on speaker can't hear you. So we gone over topics, personality, hooks, scripting, ideas, lighting, and editing. The next step is actually turning all this attention into leads, into customers, into clients, so you can actually make money with social media. So usually at the end of all my Instagram reels, I tell them to comment below a keyword for a lead magnet. A lead magnet is something I give away completely for free that allows the viewer to reach their goal or solve their problem that they've been struggling with. So again, you want people to comment on your video or DM you one-on-one on Instagram for that free lead magnet. And so the best way to do it is have the viewer comment or DM you a specific keyword. And this keyword should be about 4 to 5 letters long and 1 syllable. So example for mine right now, it's cash. If you go to all my Instagram reels, I get thousands of comments of people commenting cash, but it could be anything as long as it's outcome focused. So example, mine is cash, like money, right? You can do grow, like you're growing your social media, you're growing your business. If you're making fitness content, you could do like build for like building muscle, or you could do lose for losing weight. If you're doing relationship advice, you could do dates, or you could do Riz, just whatever like the outcome that your viewer wants. If there's a 1 syllable, 4 to 5 letter word for it, use that as your keyword. So basically at the end of every one of your Instagram reels, you could either get people to DM you this keyword, which is okay, but honestly, when people comment that keyword, even better because it boosts up the algorithm. And again, Instagram thinks like, damn, like this guy gets a lot of comments. Like we got to push his videos out to more people since so many people are engaging. And so I prefer comments. So once you give your hook and you get the main part of your video, at the very end of the video before you finish it, just give a quick segue for people to comment down below in your comment section your keyword for whatever lead magnet that you have for them. And then once they comment below that keyword, you then want to reach out to them on Instagram through Instagram DMs. And what exactly do you say in those DMs? So your next step is to watch this video right here, where I break down the 4 secrets to attracting high quality clients. And I give my exact DM scripts for each secret for free, word for word, no gatekeeping whatsoever in that video right there. So I'll catch you in this video right here. Get ready for the sauce.